All right, it's time for Media Watch now. James Creedon is with us in the studio. It's
Hi, Laura.
been a long time. Good to see you, James. And we're going to start with some Macronmania in the French media.
That's right. So ever since that meeting yesterday at Versailles with Vladimir Putin, the French media, but not just, have been talking about what a wonderful performance it was by this young president who, you know, only had 2 years' experience as a minister prior to taking over, and Vladimir Putin, known for being a difficult man in talks behind closed doors. That's right.
Standing up to him.
Indeed, when Nicolas Sarkozy had his first meeting with Vladimir Putin several years ago, the reports are that it was very tough behind closed doors, and Nicolas Sarkozy was somewhat rattled. In any case, the surprisingly strong performance by Emmanuel Macron against Vladimir Putin, that's what the Nouvel Observateur says. He extended the hand of friendship, but also told him some tough truths. So they're talking there about LGBT rights in Chechnya. They're also talking about his criticism of, very vociferous criticism of Sputnik and Russia Today in terms of their coverage of what Emmanuel Macron dubbed lies and propaganda. And he said all this with a very uncomfortable Vladimir Putin right next to him. This is an article in Télérama, which is actually satire. Now, what they're saying is there's so much Macronmania in the French media that it's getting almost excessive and ridiculous. And they're actually poking fun at BFM TV, the rolling news channel, for how elogious or just happy they are about Macron. They speak about one commentator saying, "I'm just so proud looking at BFM TV," the channel that he's on, to see this man who is president of the Republic. He started off in the courtyard of the Louvre, and here he is continuing in Versailles with Vladimir Putin. He is restoring the respectability of the presidency. How, you know, he'll have to come down to earth gently after such a strong start. Even the Russian media have been very impressed, according to Le Monde's reading of things. They say how they're calling him the new enfant terrible of the old Europe, and they're saying that this is Moskovsky Komsomolets. They say that the Russian president really didn't expect to come up against so much pressure, that he was surprised by this attitude that without any concession, and yes, they're dubbing him the new enfant terrible of Europe.
All right, well, there we are. That's what's happening in France. Over in the UK, a fierce political campaign underway with voting happening in just 9 days in the general election there. Right. And both Prime Minister Theresa May and the opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn were on TV last night taking questions. And today, a song accusing Theresa May of being a liar has reached top 10 in the charts. That's
right. So it's top 10 of the iTunes download charts.
That's what the young people are into.
That's right. Captain Ska is the group. Now, it's had about 660,000 clicks on YouTube as well. I'll just play a little extract of it here. Basically, it's pointing out where campaign promises were rolled back on, in particular due to public health and whatever. I won't play the whole thing, but let's just say it's not very flattering for Theresa May, and it's putting radio stations in the UK in a bit of a bind, because it is a very political song, and they have chosen really almost universally not to play it, despite the fact that it's being downloaded massively. And
just the song, or the song with Theresa May's comments spliced
this particular version is not getting any airplay, and so some, such as express.co.uk, saying, "Why won't radio play it?" I suppose the answer being it's very political and it could get them in hot water.
All right, talking about politics then, the Muslim Holy month of Ramadan is beginning, and in some countries, traditionally this is a time when people sit down and watch a lot of TV in the evenings with their families. And there's a new hard-hitting ad about terrorism, isn't it? And it's divided people's opinions. Really.
That's right. I think we can play some of that, and we'll explain. So it's a company called Zain, which is based in Kuwait, and what you see in this advertisement is, well, there's a lot of different things happening, but there's one particular singer called Hussein Al Jazmi, and he's a pop star in the United Arab Emirates, and it's really a message against terrorism. Let's bomb violence with mercy. Let's bomb delusion with the truth. Let's bomb hatred with love. Let's bomb extremism for a better life. Now, it's divided Twitter, because some are saying this is a wonderful message of peace at a time of the holy month of Ramadan. It's an important message to send out, reminding those who are believers in faith and God and whatever, that this is that terrorism is, of course, against the message of peace and love in God and all of that. But some of the images in this advertisement have drawn criticism. You have, for example, Omran Daknish. Now, he's a little boy who survived an attack in Syria last year and was photographed in the back of an ambulance. I'm not sure if we've seen it in the extract that I'm playing
here. A
little
boy covered in dust because, of course, he wasn't hit by jihadis. He was hit by the Assad regime.
That's right. So some are saying it's being, the message is a bit mixed.
But a lot of it is recreating scenes of bombings, like the bombings at marriages, at weddings, at marketplaces. Very hard-hitting stuff, isn't it?
That's right, and a reminder that terrorism has often struck moments of festivity and fun, concerts and whatnot, and that this is just simply hypocrisy from the point of view of those who preach the real message of, I suppose, peace.
Trying to counter that message there with quite a catchy song as well.
Indeed, and 3 million views online so far.
3 million already, yes. There you go. All right, well, let's end with Australia's Elle magazine, something of a historic front page. Let's have a look at this one.
All right, well, just
quickly, if you
Margaret Zhang is her name. Now, she's a huge star on Instagram, and what's interesting about this is it's kind of a case of things going full circle, because Instagram, she takes selfies, she takes photos of herself, and this is a photo on the cover of Australian Elle that was taken with an iPhone. And what she says is it's really interesting to see what she was struck by is how liberating it was to shoot and not worry about lenses, tripods, tethering to the computer,
How is she taking a selfie without using either?
I think somebody took it of her, but this is the front cover of Elle, and it's a photo taken on an iPhone. So
worrying for professional photographers.
That's right, and it's a sign of the times.
All right, James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon there.
Thanks, Laura.
Welcome return to